And we are live.
What's going on, everybody? It's Dylan Sheets from the Coursing Up here, coming in at you.
Where are you guys playing tonight?
Tonight we are in Greenville, South Carolina at Got Rocks with Kill the Imposter and Neverfall out here today.
So I'm going to ask you a few fan questions to start
Yeah.
everything off. Where are your band members from?
So technically, we're based out of Charlotte, but two of them live like South Charlotte, like Gastonia kind of type area. But I actually live in Charlotte, so we base ourselves out of Charlotte to make it a little bit easier on everything.
Where did your band's name originate from?
That's actually a good question. So with how the world is and how band names are, we searched for probably a good 6 months to find a good band name that fit with us for something that would make sense. And basically, the coursing is truly about being inside of the listener, being able to adapt and let everybody else be like cohesive with what we're doing. So my thing with the band name is we use the coursing as like I'm coursing through your veins. I'm already inside of you. I'm already inside your mindset, in your radio, and everything that you have. So the coursing is basically like that play on is kind of like, like I say, we're already there. We're already a part of you and you don't even know it yet.
Next fan question is your biggest influences.
Ooh, as a band entirely, our number one influence will always stay the same. All of us have the tattoo of it, but Slipknot is the coursing's number one and biggest influence to everything that we do. Our like the way we run our music, the way we try to interact with our fans, the way we try to market ourselves, the way we try to run ourselves. That way is in that limelight, not necessarily like copying them or anything, but taking the advantages of the way that they could connect with people and make their fans and families and everything a part of a culture, basically. So it's like a entity. It's kind of our thing. So Slipknot's number one for that for us. Next is probably a band called King 810. They're from Flint, Michigan. They're actually a pretty like well-spoken lyrically band that's extremely heavy, and not just from heavy lyrically but heavy from all aspects as far as like the music goes. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like hard heavy metal in your face. They got a lot of stuff that's like real open with like violins and cellos and all kinds of shit, and that's like something that we're trying to branch out into to kind of pull from as well. So they have a big heavy branch into what we do as far as the coursing goes. Third, if we had to pick something that it truly influenced us, honestly, it's like a lot of us are big like Suicide Silence kind of fans.
Okay.
So it's like a lot of that like fast paced, like in your face kind of stuff that like brings you that kind of atmosphere. Because like lyrically, Mitch is like one of the greatest lyricists that has ever walked the face of metal. So it's like being able to like watch him growing up and see what he's did has brought a lot of leeway to how kind of like we run our kind of stuff lyrically too as well. So definitely, if I had to say top three, is definitely going to be Slipknot, King 810, and probably Suicide Silence.
All right, I'm going to ask you a fun question now.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite Pokemon and why?
Ooh, okay, that's pretty good. We grew up with Pokemon and shit, so it's like you can't say Pikachu because Pikachu's a mascot, for Pokemon. So we're like real big about that. But my favorite personally is Umbreon, who is like the evolution kind of type stuff, because it's like a more that darker aspect of a Pokemon character that a lot of people don't really give a shit about, but we actually fuck with Umbreon. That's kind of well the evolutions in general, that kind of shit.
Next question is, when are you going to come out with a long album?
Okay, so how we're doing our album stuff is we actually have a single coming out here soon, and it's going to be quicker than you think. And after we get back from our Welcome to Rockville show with Metallica and all of those guys, we will be presenting a full length album for all of our fans in 2022. You'll expect a full length 9-10 song album that's going to be in your face all over the place. Like I say, we take a lot of that Slipknot aspect into it and King, so we have a lot of like interludes and kind of stuff that kind of feel the environment and kind of make you feel something throughout each individual song. So expect something 2022 for us to drop a full length album for sure, and major tours planned.
Speaking of tours and everything, what was your favorite show so far?
Ooh, see, we've been touring since July, so we've basically been at it, and there has been quite a bit of shows that have been tossed up. But like, because like every time you do one, you're like, man, this is the best show we've ever played. Man, this is the best show we've ever played. But so far, I'll be completely honest with you. Our debut showcasing was at the neighborhood theater, and we headlined, and nobody had ever seen us, ever heard of us. We put on a 45-minute set as our first show, and we had bands like Dying Oath was on that, Neverfall, Until They Bleed, and like a bunch of bands like that, Den of Wolves. So it's like we had a lot of big backing from a lot of our friends that were doing really well in the scene, and it just truly made us want to do more for them in general. So I think that debut showcasing that we had was probably, as a collective, was our favorite show that we've ever played. Plus it was home, and it kind of give everybody that kind of like representation of who we are coming straight out of the gate with no bullshit. So definitely neighborhood theater is a very dear like to our heart. So that show will always be our favorite so far anyways.
Did you have any vocal coaching at all?
Well, actually, it's funny you say that. I'm actually about to start up a like vocal lesson and stuff for people who actually want to learn more about themselves, not necessarily about doing things, because every vocalist is different, especially when you go into metal. Every vocalist has their own unique way of doing something that has either influenced them or something they found on their own. So I'm actually about to start up my own vocal lessons to help people find themselves and find how their approach is for their vocals. So that's something that I'm very, 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 very adamant on. And I want to branch out and help a lot of people who are either scared to be in that limelight or who don't know some of the best techniques to get you through a show. And it's not necessarily like best techniques as far as like actually singing and screaming and everything, but as far as how you work your body for a show, for a set, for a longevity set. So like a band like us, we can play 20 minutes, balls to the wall, cool. Or we can sit there and play 45 minutes to an hour, balls to the wall, cool. But it's all about how you work yourself. And I really want to get into kind of teaching a lot of people how to work themselves and find their own self as far as being a vocalist goes.
So do you use like throat coat or honey or mustard or like anything after or
Yeah, yeah.
before?
Yeah. So usually before, I'm a big throat coat kind of guy. That shit is the best thing that you will ever take in your entire life for vocals, in my opinion. That works for me.
Okay.
Everybody's usually, different, but throat coat, and I use like the like lozenges. So I'll do my throat coat, and then I'll get my whole entire body warm and like all of my muscles warm, and take the lozenge, and it'll kind of like dissolve it a little better because my mouth and everything is already warm and my system's warm. So I usually do a couple lozenges, do some tea. I'm a big smoker. Like I vape and then smoke the goods, but it's like cigarettes don't really do anything for me. So I don't really, like do that. But sometimes I'll take a shot or two an hour before. I usually don't drink within the first like hour of like before I get on stage. So I'm just like warm and everything. But throat coat for me is number one. Lozenges number two. Third thing, honestly, that's like weird for me that I do is after I get all that warmed up, I usually eat Starburst because like they actually make your mouth salivate a lot more. And especially being
Okay.
a vocalist, whenever you get on stage, sometimes either nerves or anticipation or like joy from the show that's about to happen, like it'll suck that away. But if you're up there and you got like a fucking Starburst in and shit, it keeps things going and it keeps things completely salivated. So big vocal tip for sure. Find a candy like that keeps your mouth salivated that you can just eat like real quick, like that you don't have to worry about. So that's number one. I tell a lot of people, man, Starbursts are truly where it's at.
What's your favorite Starburst then?
Ooh, the strawberry. I'll buy the whole
Strawberry.
bag of the 500.
Strawberry.
Yeah, boy, that's my shit right there. I'm not a cherry anything. I don't do cherry nothing. I don't do cherry cough drops, which I usually have cough drops, but I do like the honey supplement cough drops. But I can't do cherry anything. Like past life with me with that shit, I just cannot do cherry. But strawberry anything is my shit for sure.
Okay, do you remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
Bro, that was like childhood for me. Watching Jack Black and Jack White go at it, that shit was funny. Marilyn Manson and Marilyn Monroe, I think that was the one that was on there too. That shit was good. I love Celebrity Deathmatch. I actually wish they would bring that shit back, to be honest with you. That shit would be amazing right now in our day and age.
Who would you want to be in the ring with?
Ooh, me? See, if I had to pick for a Celebrity Deathmatch, my my epitome for like my biggest influence as a person and like who I like idolize and do everything after is definitely Corey Taylor. So to be able to be in a celebrity death match where he completely like mangles me and tears me apart, that's what I would love. Corey Taylor from Slipknot would be completely number one. But if I had to pick another one, probably Manson though, honestly. I'm a big Manson fan too, so Corey or Manson, either one would do well for me.
So if you could pick your last meal, what would it be?
Ooh, I actually that's a thought that I've actually thought about quite a lot, being the person that I am and the shit that I go through. I'm a big like Hispanic culture food fan, so it's like I love torta de cubana, and it's
Okay.
like pork, and usually they have like pineapple on it, like a sauce on top and stuff. That shit is like the best thing in the world. It's like kind of like a Hispanic sandwich per se. That shit is top tier for me. That's like last meal resort would be a torta de cubano. That's it.
If you can pick your own set list,
Mhm.
Bill actually,
Yeah.
who would you want on it?
Ooh, okay. So bill wise, number one, like I say, Slipknot, number one over
Yeah.
everybody. Slipknot over everybody. Number two, Mudvayne. I would love Mudvayne second. Third, I would love A Killer's Confession. Fourth, King 810, Tala, and then the coursing. That would be a 6 band bill that I don't think anybody could come out of that. That shit would be brutal across the board. That shit would be perfect for us.
On the other hand, local scene.
Mm-hmm. Local scene. See, the local scene, honestly, like around here, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, is
Yeah.
fucking packed. It's fucking packed. There's so many fucking good bands that are in our local scene that people don't pay attention to. And it's crazy because a lot of these bands that are in our local scene are all over the place. So, local scene wise, like if we could have anybody under us playing shows with us, definitely Den of Wolves are our boys. Den of Wolves is like that groove metal shit that you cannot get out of your head once you hear those. If you ever heard Den of Wolves, those dudes deserve credit and gratitude for what they do. Until They Bleed, for sure. Those boys are like hometown boys for me. Me and Dustin, the vocalist, we actually grew up in the same town when we were kids and didn't even know each other. We knew all the same people. We knew all the same like musicians and shit that were around us, and we never met until I moved to Charlotte and he formed Until They Bleed. And then we had them on our showcase and everything, and it was kind of crazy. So them, Den of Wolves, Dying Oath are some of the hardest working people that are in our local music industry. They work so hard, so hard without any lashback. They work hard no matter what is in their fucking faces. Those guys are good. Never Fall is also another one of my favorites because like that is, in my opinion, is the closest that you'll get to hearing authentic, real thrash metal. Like authentic as shit. Those dudes are like the next Trivium. I truly feel like that. And if you haven't heard it, bro, Never Fall is fucking it. If I had to pick another one that would be on there, it's so hard, bro. It's so fucking hard. If I could pick another one that pops, Killer Koi is actually really good friends of ours too. So those guys are doing a lot of big things in the rock scene. and it's like totally two different parallels for us, but they actually support us just as much as we support them, and that shit means a lot. So I would love that if that was a lineup right there for sure.
If you weren't playing music, what would you be doing?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm a huge wrestling fan. So I think that if I wasn't playing music at all or anything involved with music, I would truly branch out and I would do everything in my power to become a wrestler. Like that, like Jeff Hardy is like one of my biggest idols as far as I
Okay.
think Jeff Hardy's my spirit animal, to be honest with you. He's a great friend to me. And it's crazy because like I grew up watching Jeff Hardy. I grew up, dressing like Jeff Hardy. I used to cut up long fucking socks and put holes in them and all kinds of shit and jump on my brother from the bunk beds and shit like that growing up. So it's like crazy that now I can pick up my phone and just text Jeff Hardy and be like, hey man, I hope you're doing good. You got anything coming up, let me know. So definitely wrestling has a big part of my life. So if I could do anything, I would love to be in like that kind of setting and be a wrestler. That shit would be cool as fuck for me.
So WWF days or WWE days?
Oh yeah, WWF days, straight up, straight up. Stone Cold is like how I move as far as a person. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, like that kind of fuck you like mentality in the same sense, but still have that like backbone where it's like Jeff does. Like he will take the fucking chances. He will do everything in his power to make sure that he gives you what you want. And that's kind of how I feel as far as music is related. That like I'm that crazy dude. I'll be on the bar, on the rafters. I'll be in the crowd. I'll be the one starting the pit at like our shows and shit. So it's like that shit's awesome for me. WWF days is where everything was real to a lot of people. Everything was more brutal. Everything was more surreal. The drama was better. The skits were better. Hell, matches were way better even before everybody learned how to do 7,000 flips and a whole bunch of other shit at the end of the day. And it took a little bit of the Carney style away and put more of the like physical, like brutalness to it. And that's what I miss, honestly, about that. But that's why we have like AEW on the other side as like a close comparison that I would say I wouldn't even compare like AEW to like WCW or anything like that back in the day. They're full on like WWF style with how much they care about what the fans want, what the fans need. So definitely WWF, like I say, for me, takes over everything as far as wrestling goes.
This is a deeper question. What do you want to leave as your legacy?
As my legacy, see, for me, being a musician, you have to first understand that to be a great musician, you have to understand that you are an entertainer at the end of the day. No matter how anybody wants to put it, no matter how anybody wants to think or act, you are an entertainer. You are there to entertain those people. You are there to make sure that they leave with a smile on their face and a story to tell somebody. So my legacy, what I want to leave is to be a part of that tree branch. And the tree branch thing is how like I kind of look at it. There's a lot of these bands that grow from the tree branch and grow into leaves. And they look really good. Everything looks beautiful. People love the leaves on trees, but those leaves die and pass away. But that tree branch that's there that sprouts everything else, that's what I'm looking for. I want to give back and be bands like that Slipknot, be bands like that Mudvayne, that Metallica, that Kiss, that even though things change and things progress as the music world goes, I want to be able to give back to people where they're influenced, even if it's not by the music, even if it's by the atmosphere, the way we play, the way we act, the way we are as people, to give back, to kind of like show you that like you can do it, you can be better. Hell, if I can be up here, I don't care if there's 5 people at a show or 5,000 people at a show, and we've been pretty far in between for over the last 3 months of touring and doing things. But at the end of the day, if you can leave that like little sample in somebody's life where they listen to you and then it branches off that your music sounds like this or it inspires somebody else to write something, that's what I want. I want these kids out there that are younger than me that come to my shows and they're like, hey man, like your song helped me through this hard time in my life. Your song helped me and made me remember that like I'm not alone or that I am alone, and that I can change my output. I can change how my lifestyle goes. That's my goal. And it's all about those kids. If one person comes to my show and tells me that a song we have called The Fatal Hour is it's very deep, but all of my songs have a true meaning about it. But The Fatal Hour is actually about my grandfather's last hour of cancer and all the like processes and the thoughts that went through his head while he's in that last hour, dealing with chemo, dealing with everything, the radiation and shit, that very last hour that he's alive. And I was there for that. And I could see everything that went inside his mind. So that song for me resonates because there's a lot of people out there that miss people, that feel like that whenever somebody's gone, like they're gone. And to me, it's not that way. To me, it's like that person that you miss that may have passed away has that deep influence and that impact on you to help you become the person that you're going to be. Not necessarily who you are right now, but it may leeway you into making your decisions. So like stuff like that, like The Fatal Hour is like a huge one for me, that I want to help people feel something. I want to help people be okay in the skin that they're in the lifestyle that they're living.
So your music video for on the Cure.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that placed?
So I Am the Cure was I actually shot that back in my like hometown, like where I'm from. Have you ever seen the Andy Griffith show?
Yes.
Well, that's where I'm from. So like
Oh,
Mayberry.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm actually from
That's pretty cool.
Mayberry. Yeah. And like a lot of people don't make it out of there. They usually do your 9 to 5, get a really good job, get a wife or a husband, have kids, have a mortgage, and that's what their lifestyle is, that 9 to 5, and they live that. But so to be able to come back home and do I Am the Cure back home kind of brought more out of me because I'm bringing my atmosphere into where I used to be, and I can play with that to push me to be a better person. So, and to be a better entertainer. So for I Am the Cure, we shot that back home in one of my buddies' like land that we used to hang out at. And it's like we used to do a bunch of stuff and parties and everything and hang out with people. So there's like this big building, and then on the side of it there's these like individual barns. So in these 3 individual barns that are connected to each other, we took each individual member and threw them in that barn and played a scenario in our lives based on the things that we've been through. So in like I Am the Cure and everything was like shot, like leading up to where we're getting to, what we're doing, how life is. And then there's like a huge building scene that like captured all of us in like into our like mental standpoint. So for I Am the Cure, it's like with everything going on in life, it's kind of like that branch that no matter what's going on out there, no matter what's happening, you can adapt to what's going on, even though that, like I said, you are the virus, I am the cure. That's an
Yeah.
inside, that's a whole mental thing for a lot of people, that it's like all this shit's going on around you and it's negative and it's changing and it's this or that. And like sometimes you feel like there's no place for you in there, but that's not true. That's the virus. You are the total cure to doing everything that you want to accomplish, that you want to grab for, that you want to be. So shooting back home, like I say, and having that mentality to bring that kind of imagery out was really, really big for me. And I really appreciate being able to do that back home, honestly.
Was it backing track, or were everybody actually playing?
Everybody's actually playing like in all of our stuff, but we have like backing tracks and keys and all kinds of like stuff like that to give you that environment feel that we're trying to reach for. And it's like when I do backing tracks and stuff with me, it's not to like have the like backing vocally or anything. For me, it's like a mental standpoint. So it's like I play off of the backing to pull out that demon that's in me to adapt to what I'm doing. Because like every song that I'm doing, I tell a story. So it's like also that like inner demon that's in the back of your head that's telling you to go this way, telling you to go that way, and it's up to me to bring my own thing out with that, so it clashes. So like if you see us live, I'm like inside my own head talking to myself, that's coming through, like through the PA and stuff, to kind of bring you that different element that I'm telling you that you're not going to get anywhere else. That's kind of big for me, truly. I need that. I got to have that, you know. I think it resonates a lot of times with the fans too, because like a lot of people will come up to me, and like musicians alike, and they'll be like, it's kind of crazy that you guys have the like backing tracks, and we're only three people. We're only a three-piece band. So people come up there and they hear a bunch of things, and they hear something different than what they're usually used to hearing from a lot of bands. And I truly appreciate every single bit of that, because then it brings more people to give me more questions and ask me more things about that. Like I have people come to shows, like I say, musicians alike, that ask me questions about how I do that and how they could like sort of not implement, but like take note to kind of branch out, to kind of pull that from that and kind of make their own kind of way. And that's, like I say again, back to what I want my music to do. That's kind of the end goal. So if I could do anything in music to make somebody think about something that they could do, that's literally all it is for me. That's literally all it is for me.
So when you record at home, do you use Reaper, Pro Tools, or Logic?
We use Drum Forge for a lot of our drums and stuff, and we use Pro Tools for a lot of our stuff too as well, to kind of do that. Our producer, his name's Larry Tukolsky.
Okay.
He's actually I'm not just because he's our producer, but he is one of the most caring and giving producers in the entire world. Some producers will come there and like, you're there to bring your song, and they're like, yeah, I'm just here to track it. This dude will push you. This dude pushes me every single day when we're in the studio to get something out of myself. I have to like bring that element of the bullshit that I've been through in the studio when I record my vocals, and he helps me open my mind and tell me that, like, you know, like, you have to be in that atmosphere. You have to give me more. You have to push further. Keep going, because like, I'll do vocal takes, and we'll do 50, 60 vocal takes in one song, just because to me or to him it doesn't feel like I'm pushing enough. And it's like I don't stop until I feel like it's raw, like it's truly emotional, it's truly everything that I can pull into it, you know. So I give Larry a lot of props for what he does for us, and like I say, there's no other producer on the East Coast like that, in my eyes, that's going to give us back to what we do. And he truly cares about us as a band, and that's something that you won't find in a lot of producers that not only care about the recordings, but care about how the band's going, what's next for the band, how can he do anything to help us, you know, progress and be better than where we were yesterday. So it's like, even whenever we record shit and we're done demoing out everything and we're about to lay final tracks down, it could be 3 days later, Larry will hit me up and he'll be like, hey man, I think you should come in and do something else. He's like, I don't care to spend the time. I don't care to spend the, you know, effort and the like money and everything to be able to do it. He just physically wants what's truly best for us. And I think that's what has ultimately helped the Coursing be a better band too, as well.
How do you choose your set list for each
Oh,
show?
so
Because I
choosing
know
set,
you'll be on.
yeah. So,
Because I know
yeah,
you'll be on in a little bit.
yeah. Choosing set list goes by feel. And it's like, we try to bring a different element, like I'm saying, to our shows. So set list, it is all about that up and down kind of feel. So like, if I can make you feel two or three different ways while you're watching my set, I'm going to try to do that. So some songs are, you know, that brutalness, and some songs are about feeling something, about the passion. Some of them are sad, even though they're very heavy. So it's like, if I can get you on that roller coaster, I know that that person's going to come back. So it's my job to make sure that that person comes in and out of our set. So we try to judge it that way. Like, we don't try to play like all of our heavy hitters at the first or all of our heavy hitters at the end, when all of our songs are heavy hitters. But it's all about that crowd reaction. It's all about how they feel when they come to our set. So we've switched up a lot of our sets and did things differently based on the crowd that's there, where we're playing. Like, if we play home, it's like, I Am the Cure is always our first song whenever we come home because people know that song. People can
Yeah.
vibe with that song. So it's like we want to give them that first. So at the end of the day, they're like, damn, like I wonder what's next, you know? So like I love whenever, you know, like a band comes and they bring their best song or whatever people know first, because then it's like that's out of the way. Here's everything else we have. I want you to pull from that and see what you truly feel about the coursing. That's our end goal.
So which ones, except for, well, what's your staple? Like has to be that plays every night.
Our staple that has to be played every night is
Yeah.
Worthless, because Worthless is that song for us that it's like, and it's actually our next music video that's coming out. Worthless is about those motherfuckers out there that tell you, that tell me, that tell that other musician, that tell that dude that's working a regular job that person can't do it. It is all about everybody else that tells you that you'll never be anything, you'll never amount to anything, and it's all about a big middle finger to those motherfuckers saying basically like fuck you, you're worthless, your words mean nothing to me, nothing that you do will ever impact what I'm doing. So that's a staple song that has to be in every single set, no matter what goes on, because we feel like we owe that as well to the fans that come out there to our show, even if they don't like us. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, they like that fucking song every time.
Is there a song that you're gonna do a cover of at any point?
See, so that's some DL stuff that we're working
Oh,
on. But if you know us as a band, like I say, like our favorite band is Slipknot, obviously, and you're the
yeah.
first person to hear this ever. So this is live for the first people to ever hear this. There's something in the works for a Slipknot cover song coming, and it's not a song that you look up in the top 20, top 30 Slipknot songs. So it's like for us as a band, it was like you have to be in tune and in depth with our songs to like us. That's how it kind of is for this Slipknot song that we're about to do. You have to physically like Slipknot and physically know what drives them, and you would know what Slipknot song that we're playing. Nobody's ever going to expect it at all. It's going to be truly, truly amazing, I promise. And it's 3 people playing 9 member song. That's the ultimate test for us. That's what we're working on now, because it's like we can't play a Slipknot song without giving it the full gratitude, the full respect and dedication that it deserves, you know? So we're literally taking notes. We're literally doing everything we can to make sure that this specific song is something that is powerful for us.
I'm very intrigued.
Thank you, bro. Thank
I'm
you.
very intrigued.
It's gonna be
Did you?
good.
I just saw them 10-10.
Awesome. That's awesome. We seen them 10,
18th.
16, 18, 17, I think, in Charlotte. They were at the PNC.
Yep.
So that shit was a mad. I mean, there's absolutely nothing like it, bro. Like to me, like I'm like that, like Christian dude or girl that's in a church that's like hands up, like something's running through them. Like that's how I am at Slipknot, and like no other band or artist puts me in that atmosphere, man. Truly, truly, we owe everything we do in this band. We owe it to Slipknot, dude. Truly, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Slipknot. Like I said, all of us have Slipknot tattoos. Like I have multiple Slipknot tattoos, so it's like that shit for me. And you know, again, like I say, our band means everything to us, and to be able to be on like Welcome to Rockville, and Slipknot's playing Welcome to Rockville, for us, for a band that's only been playing shows for 3 months, that's something that is like unimaginable to us. Like if you was asked us 3 months ago, hey man, like you guys ever think you'll open for Slipknot? I would have never have like put it out of our reach, but that's something that I would have been like, oof, like we got to earn that, you know, 6 years into our career, 7 years into our career or something. But the fact that we get that opportunity right now, with only being a band that's played shows for 3 months, that is something that I could have never have imagined in my entire life being a musician. I've been playing music for 15 years, man. So it's truly humbling, honestly.
I'm gonna flip this around. You can ask me any questions.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Hell yeah. All right. So if you had to pick a top 3 favorite bands, doesn't have to be metal, who would your top 3 influences be on you?
Number one is Korn.
Fuck yeah, bro. That's awesome.
I'm gonna have to put them in the mix. Pearl Jam.
Oh yeah, dude. That's amazing.
I'm probably Seven Dust.
Ooh, ooh. Yeah, keep that in mind, man. Seven Dust is one of them bands. We might have some cool things coming up later. I can't tell you anything, but look out for that. I'm telling you,
I honestly never miss a show.
that's amazing. That's truly awesome.
Same thing with Korn. I never miss a show.
I actually worked a show with Korn at the Fillmore a couple years ago. I did like roadie crew and stuff for the venue and stuff, but I worked for Korn, Suicide Silence, and my buddies Islander. They played at the Fillmore in Charlotte. That show had 2,000 heads in that bitch, packed
Yep.
out like sardines. Like it was one of the most like packed, intimate shows that I've ever seen in my entire life. It was chaos. That show was, and that was when Korn was playing their first album in its entirety then. So it's like all the real Korn fans were at that fucking show, and
Yep.
it was amazing, bro. Suicide Silence brings it too, man. That's a good band to have with Korn. Not even joking. That's a very good band, and they're one of our influences too. So it's like to be able to watch that and watch them get to play with their idols. You know what I mean? That's truly something that can never be fathomed. Whenever you see a band that gets to play with their idols or somebody that they look up to, the energy is different, the atmosphere is different, the music is different. That shit changes you, bro. Truly. So I got another one for you.
Okay.
If you could tour with any band, as far as playing, photography, interviewing, working, what band would you want to be on the road with on a full scale tour and do work for every night?
Wow. I'm gonna have to say Korn again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to say Korn again.
That's awesome.
Well, if I can only pick one, yeah, that would be it.
That's amazing. So, how many times have you seen Korn?
I'm going to have to say maybe at least 10 times at least.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me. I actually followed back in 2015 when Slipknot dropped the .5 Gray Chapter.
Yep.
They dropped that tour for that album was Slipknot, Korn, and King 810. I followed that show for like 8 fucking shows. I spent money every night to
Yeah.
follow him for that tour. That tour was one of the best. I take it back. That tour was the best tour package I have ever seen in my entire life. In my entire life. Korn playing Coliseums every night with Slipknot and King 810 for that matter, opening it up, bro. Like, so impactful. This is when King 810 had the fucking AK-47s on the stage and like security up there holding shit, and they had like the ropes and the glass and everything to protect them and shit. That shit was impeccable. And then to watch Korn right after that, bro, like there's not many bands on the face of the earth that can compare to Korn. And it's like when you get bands like Metallica or like Slayer that are like corner those motherfuckers, like that's truly amazing, bro. That's kind of like I say, that's like our goal. Hopefully one day we're up there in that kind of level where, you know, like I say, Slipknot, Korn, Metallica is like, hey man, like the coursing are those motherfuckers that you need to look out for, you know. So Korn's been doing it, like I say, for years, bro. And it's like it's cool that you fight with Korn like that, man, because that's a tight fan base that really gives a fuck about their music, bro. And that's truly cool, bro.
I actually got the pleasure to interview Fieldy from Korn with Stillwell.
That's sick. That's truly sick. How was that?
Okay, it was great. I fanboyed out a little bit, but that's gonna happen. You know, like I've done plenty of interviews that I thought certain people were going to be there that wasn't. So like, it was amazing time.
Yeah, truly something that you can't compare to a lot of things in life, man. Talking to one of your idols is like truly a breath of fresh air, dude. It makes you want it more. You know what I mean? It kind of makes you want to give them more, kind of makes you want to interview them more, or, you know, play better for them if the lineup was ever to happen, you know? Let's see. I got one more question for you.
All right.
One more question for you. If you could play or travel or watch your favorite band, Korn, for instance, any place
Yeah.
in the world, where would that be?
I'm probably gonna say PNC Arts Center in Homedale, New Jersey.
Oh,
It's
fuck yeah.
it's only like maybe 15, 20 minutes away
Yeah,
from,
sick.
from me.
That's awesome. That
Like,
as a band,
have you ever been out to New Jersey?
I have not been to New Jersey, unfortunately not. But hey, we're coming soon, real
Do you
soon.
know Do you know where yet, or that's secret?
Uh, we don't have that tour package in hand. We're just gonna get told where to go for those dates, so we have no clue yet. But as soon as I know, you'll definitely know, bro, for
And I'll
sure.
try to make sure that I'm there.
Yeah, we could do like a actual live interview. Like we can have
Yep,
you out there and do that shit.
that'd be great.
That'd be sick. All right, one more question. I lied to
Okay.
you. Who would you like to see the coursing with? If you could put us on a bill with 3 bands, who would you like to see us with?
I'm gonna have to say, since it, well, of course, I would put you on with Slipknot, definitely, and Dying Oath.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. That would
Like
be
because you all fit so well.
yeah, yeah, that would be amazing. We're actually trying to do some more shows with Dying Earth coming up here soon when everything works out. I would absolutely love that. Those people are some of the most humble musicians in the entire world, and it truly shows with how good they are as far as people, as far as musicianally, and as far as like their atmosphere that they bring to the table. Dying Others and motherfuckers for sure. That show would be amazing. Would be truly amazing.
And if I can pick one more, I would say Court Order.
Court Order? Okay,
Yeah,
hell yeah, that's awesome.
like I would put them on your bill as well.
That would be sick. That would be fucking brutal, man. Not even gonna front. That would be a good mix of shit that people would pull different atmospheres from, and that's what I'm truly about. And I know Dying Oath as well. Dying Oath is a band that's always about something different, bringing something different to the table. And it's like you go see Dying Oath. There's not many bands out there that's like them. There's not many bands
No,
that bring what they bring to the table, and they've truly proved that. Not just because of the music, but it's like as far as they work, their work ethic, their humbleness, their fan interaction. Their fan interaction is something that a lot of these local bands and even regional and national bands could really hone in on and take a piece of what Dying Oath is doing in. That those guys are everywhere, bro. They care about their fucking fans.
yeah, they do.
That shit's amazing to me.
So I know you're going to be playing very shortly. Do you want to once again announce where you are tonight and where to be followed
Yeah,
and all that lovely stuff?
yeah. So tonight we are in Greenville, South Carolina at Got Rocks with Kill the Imposter and our boys in Neverfall. And this show is going to be pretty fucking good. And then tomorrow we will be back home in Charlotte doing our last hometown show for the year. So if you don't like, if people are on here and you want to catch the coursing at home, this is the last opportunity that you will see us home with Kill the Imposter again and our boys in fucking Divided. They're from Virginia. Those dudes slap. Those dudes bring some energy. So that's the last time that you'll see us at home. And Black Market Currency is also with us. So that's a band that's going to be coming up, and you got to definitely check out those dudes for sure. And as of right now, check us out on Spotify, on iTunes, all your media platforms. We're on everything that you could ever see. Check out make sure you pay attention to our Instagram and Facebook specifically, because we're actually going to be doing a thing coming up soon called Coursing TV. And we're about to give you a little behind the scenes shots here and there of the shit that we've did over the last 3.5 years. So some shit that you're going to see is demo stuff, demo raw vocals of us doing stuff in the studio, stuff with, like other past members and stuff like that or whatever, to bring that kind of atmosphere up. So that's going to be something that we're deeply interested in letting all of our fans see, to kind of bring them in on what we're doing. So pay attention to Instagram, Facebook, because that's where you're going to find all the shit coming up for us soon.
And you said about your vocal coaching. When you have a link for that, can you send it to me so I'll have it
Absolutely.
somewhere?
Absolutely. I'm going to definitely get that started here sometime this week. Hopefully before I get to the Welcome to Rockville, because I have a lot of people that have been in contact with me that want to do like a small interview and talk about the things that I'm bringing later. So I'm going to try to have that play and involved but before we do Welcome to Rockville, for sure.
I'm going to thank you for your time now and have a great show tonight.
Yeah, brother. Thank you so much, man. I truly appreciate you reaching out to me, man.
No problem, and I will let you know exactly when this will be up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely let me know. We'll pump this shit up. We're going to pump you up, bro. And like, if you ever need anything from us, if you ever want to do it again, bro, we're always here, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It'll probably be up within the hour.
Yeah, awesome. Hell yeah, brother. Well, if you need anything, bro, you just hit us up, man. The coursing really, truly appreciate you, man.
You have a great show.
All right, brother. We appreciate y'all.
Good night.
See you, bud.
Later.